We're not going to lose too much time as this is a tech talk, and I'm telling you that I'm head of marketing. That means that I'm going to be silent today. I'm not going to talk too much. I'll hand it over to the experts. This is Techie for Techie. That's the idea behind our tech talks. It's for our community, for our technical community. This is for you guys. Obviously, today it's about VNC. And guess what? I mean, marketing is marketing. I can't resist. I do have prepared something for you, which is obviously, you might have guessed it, a quick poll, just to give us an idea where you guys are in terms of ownCloud, and especially in terms of VNC. I have a quick question for you. I'd love you to answer that. Okay. Thanks for participating. Wow, we have 88% participation. That's really cool. Thank you very much, guys. I'm gonna close it, and it looks like there's some follow-up to do. I'm gonna show you the results. Hope you can see them. We have 7% yes and 93 do not use VNCtalk so far. So that's something to work on. And I have another question for you. That would be cool as well, just to give us an idea where you guys are in terms of chat in your company. If you know, where are you in terms of chat? What are you guys using? Okay, we see Rocket, others. I'm very glad that we have so far. No, we have 9% now, 8%. Thanks for that on WhatsApp. So I think that's a pretty cool thing as well. Let's see. I'll show you guys results. So we have 8% Slack, 31 Rocket Chat, 8% Microsoft Teams, 8% WhatsApp. Oh dear, and 46% others. So that could be a thing to do some, dig a little bit into that. What are these others that you mentioned? Maybe you can share your insights with us throughout the call. And I have a quick last question for you, which I think is really important as well. What do you do with these chats? Do you share sensitive data? Does that happen in your company? Now, if you're some sort of security admin, you're going to say, yes, they do, but they shouldn't. Oh, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. Wow, this is something that I think we never had. Very, very close. We have 46% yes and 52% no. But these 46 yes, and obviously in that case, you better have a secure solution and you don't use WhatsApp. Andrea, I think this is my point to hand over to you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. So I see still the survey.
Yeah, I'll hand it over to you.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm gonna close this one. So now you should be able to share your slides so that we can start right away. As I said, I'll keep an eye on the questions in the chat. Andrea, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Jakob, and welcome everyone. My name is Andrea Wörlein. I am board member of VNC. I have Stefan Sänger with me as well from VNC for the technical part. We will show you the integration between ownCloud and VNCtalk as one example for the VNClagoon products. And I will show you a little bit of, check a little bit of a presentation. So no, this is the wrong screen. Okay, but not too many slides because I know you want to see things going on in live. Stefan, can you give me feedback whether the sharing works for the presentation?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's working.
Okay, very cool. So, VNClagoon at ownCloud Tech Talk. Very happy to be here, and let's have a look what we can share with you. These are the topics. What are VNClagoon and VNCtalk? Why would you need a file and data platform? How do we integrate VNCtalk with ownCloud, and how would you also go forward with that? And we will share a live demo. So first of all, VNClagoon and VNCtalk, what is that? VNClagoon is a suite of products built for secure interactions of all kinds. These products are communication products like VNCtalk for real-time communication, VNC channels, a Slack-like tool to really exchange ideas and to innovate. And VNC contacts, VNC mail, a groupware, and then collaboration products like project management, task management, file sync and share, our backend technologies like VNC directory. So a whole suite of products that you might use for communication and collaboration. They are all based upon pure open source technologies, and they enable you to really secure your interactions, your communication and collaboration. So we have a platform that consists of 3 layers. We have the infrastructure layer, where we are totally agnostic to where you want to host your products. Of course, you can go with a GCP implementation all over the world, but you can also install the complete VNClagoon stack in your own data center or in a partner's data center, wherever you like. We have our platform tools and technologies where we are using Kubernetes for our deployments. If you have questions about that, Stefan is happy to answer them. And on top of that, we have the software layer, where we have all our communication and collaboration applications that you want to use. And all of them are available in different front-end clients. You can use web clients if you like. You can use desktop clients for Windows app or Mac or Linux, or you can use the apps, the mobile apps for Android and iOS. And this is especially true, for example, for VNCtalk. When you log in with the web client to the start page, you will see displayed all the products you are subscribed to, which could be more, which could be less, depending on your subscription level. And the nice thing is all our front ends and also this start page, they are customizable. And you, if you're not a fan of the theme, you could use, of course, other images, but we can go a lot further with our customization. Within the products, we can change the UIs. And here in the app switcher, you could switch from one application to the other. So what is VNCtalk? VNCtalk is for your real-time communication on all devices. So on your laptop, on your computer, and on your mobile device. We are using encryption on all devices, so end-to-end encryption. So when we saw in the survey we just that Jakob just shared, when you're sharing sensitive data, you might want to have them encrypted, and with VNCtalk this is possible. We do have chats and group chats. We have audio and video conferencing, screen sharing, whiteboards, document collaboration, and a whole lot more, which you will see live. This is how the chat application can look like. This is very, very scalable up to huge numbers of users. For your video conferencing, You can select pure audio conferences. You can select video conferences with up to very large numbers, which here we are also scalable. We have a video bridge in the backend that can scale up and down according to the number of users you want to connect. And this is how everything looks like. We will see a bit of it live. And what is very, very important for us, we want you to have the same experience in all our front-end clients. So this is how it looks like on a mobile device. And the same design then is, for example, on an iPad or in your web client. We are using Angular with material design standards. So this might be very familiar for you, and that makes it a really unified experience independent of the device you're using. And of course, you can switch immediately. So when you're working in your office and you have the web client on, and then you go away, of course the messages, they are synced on your mobile client to the last second, and you can seamlessly continue working there. And we also have offline features on the mobile devices, for example, or also in the desktop clients. Why do you need a file and data platform? Well, you are here in an ownCloud webinar, so you certainly know that. And just from our point of view, ownCloud delivers file sync and share features and enables really secure file handling. And for us, as being really keen on security, this makes ownCloud a perfect choice. And in the end, this leads to real value for companies dealing with data-driven processes. This is what ownCloud is for us, and therefore it makes perfect sense for us to integrate tightly between ownCloud and our VNClagoon product suite. What did we do with the integration of VNCtalk? And there I will hand over to Stefan. Stefan, I will be your, well, I will click through the slides and will leave the technical explanations to you.
Okay, so of course, thank you. Yeah, the best starting point for us is probably that we are using our own directory service, and along with our own directory service, we are using our own identity provider, which is basically used by all of our applications to handle login and authorization. We had to extend this one to support OpenID Connect for the integration with ownCloud, and that's the key factor for the whole story. So all of our applications are able to authenticate not only for, or are able to authenticate users not only for the actual application, but there are also integrations on API layers that of course then need some delegated authentication information. And that's the whole thing that we did here. So we started to use the ownCloud software development kit, integrated it, used it in our application development, and then we have a simple flow where our application is able to authenticate automatically against the ownCloud service, and then it's just a matter of using whatever the SDK offers to embed any functionality into our UI. So probably something to have a closer look. I'm not sure. I think we have a short slide about the actual flow. How does this working?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So here we go. So it's pretty much as I just described. The user is authenticated. He's going to the VNClagoon application and says, yeah, I want to access some other application. So he has to ask the identity provider to get the actual certificate for the information, so basically an authentication token. And with that token, he is able to get to the actual service, which is ownCloud, and then the data can be accessed. I think that's pretty much a very dry question to elaborate or to try and to describe. So best option is probably, let's have a look at it in action.
Okay, if you have concrete questions around that, please feel free to use the chat and to answer them. And we are happy to go into more details here. Maybe Stefan, you could use
Okay.
numbers
Some,
of our service.
okay, yes, that's some background about our journey and what we've been doing in order to develop our applications and basically to run them. So we started to move from larger, more monolithic applications to an architecture that is a microservice architecture, which means we which means we actually did split our applications into multiple smaller services, which has the benefit that these services are far more flexible when it comes to deployment. They can easily be updated independently from others. And of course, the beauty and the biggest advantage for us was actually moving to a containerized architecture and embracing Kubernetes as the platform to use, because without it, we wouldn't have been able to be that fast in our development, and also we wouldn't have the ease of upgrading single components on the fly so that they are available all the time. They are just replaced with a new version, and as long as the old version is there, the old version can be used, and when the new deployment is done, the old deployment gets removed. To orchestrate the whole stack, we actually are using Helm. So we have Helm charts which define manifests how a deployment should look like, and then we are using Flux to deploy updates, deploy changes. So we have actual releases in there. And that's, in the end, that's the whole GitOps flow. So we never ever have to do something like kubectl apply. We basically just build new versions of our applications. We build new images, and then we, from time to time, automatically or on setting a tag, depends on the situation, we deploy new images. And that's changing just in a Git repository, which always defines the current desired state. It has the desired configuration. And so there is a clear definition of the desired deployment, and that's then done automatically.
Okay, very fine.
So you basically get all the benefits of having a structured, well-documented, reproducible history of deployments, of changes, and so on. And that's a huge benefit. So let's have a look at it live.
Yes. So let me change my screen share to the browser. So here we are. Here you see the login to our VNC directory, where you see the products that are subscribed, that this user has access to. And when we go to VNC directory, just so you see how that happens, when we look at organizations. You see here which products they might use. And of course, this drills down to departments and also users or roles who might be subscribed to products or who might also have permissions to use certain functions within products. For example, an HR manager will see HR information in the contacts, in our VNC contacts application, if that is implemented like that. In the directory part, of course, we manage user creation and also imports of users. We manage roles and permissions. We manage workflows and a lot of other stuff, which I'm happy to show, but probably not today. We will have a closer look at the integration between VNCtalk as one example of a product and ownCloud. So let me open VNCtalk. What is VNCtalk? It's an end-to-end encrypted chat, video communication, content collaboration, and social networking tool. Let me show what that means. Here on the left side, we have our chats, one-to-one and group chats. And when I go, in that case, to a group chat, I can either send messages, which I will show right away, or you could manage this chat. We can start an audio call here. We can start a video call. Stefan, can we dare, or will we get a bad?
Yeah, we can dare that. That's not an issue because no audio from my side will interfere.
Okay, so I will start a video call, and I can start calls with either all participants or selected only. I will use a selected only, and Stefan is now logged in as Ray. And let me start, and it is ringing. And here I am, and here is Stefan. And
yeah, that's the view out of my window. I can also change that back so you can see me.
Okay, you're using a different one, and just one feature for you to see. I can expand to full screen. I can send messages within the call. I can mute for everyone. I can turn off the camera, which Stefan has just done. And I can remove Stefan from the call. So this is a real enterprise grade video conferencing and audio conferencing, screen share, whiteboard, whatever solution. So let me hang up here. So, and we're back to chat. So audio calls, video calls, screen share sessions, and VNC pads. These are online content or text content collaboration tools. So let me create a pad. So Stefan, you might want to add something here. I am adding text, and Stefan can edit the text also at the same time. And you see here we are simultaneously online and we can work on texts. We are using this widely, for example, for marketing purposes. So Jakob, that would be probably a good tool for you. But let's return to the chat. As you see here, it's super easy. You just enter a chat message. You could also use the voice recorder. I'm recording a message here, and you send it right away, and it's available. Just be aware that the same functionality, and really exactly the same functionality, is available in the mobile client. So it feels a bit like all the features and much more than that you're used to in WhatsApp when you're using it with your mobile phone. So with one finger, you can start a voice recording and send the message and all these things. And but we are at the same time, we are enterprise grade. So we have a real-time rich text editor. And sorry, I'm not good with typing so quickly, so I'm adding the lists just with a nonsense text. So you see, we have formatting options, and if you're working on really long texts, we have a full screen mode as well. So this is real-time communication and collaboration on an enterprise level. And it's not only simple features, but it's really the complex thing. And it's scalable. It scales up to very, very large numbers of users. Another really enterprise grade feature. Here we have our end-to-end encryption, which can be activated or deactivated also by instance or by organization or by user group. Some of our customers are not allowed to use end-to-end encryption due to some compliance requirements, but others are very happy about that feature. And if you go to the settings here and to the security and privacy settings, you'll see here which devices are enabled for encryption. Because imagine when you are online with your web client and you want to share an encrypted message, you want to have that on your mobile client as well. And therefore, you can manage the clients here and you can delete them, and you can also add new clients. So what about ownCloud? Let's show you a flow. I'm selecting whatever image, for example. It could be file of any kind. Of course, we are managing and sending and working with files of any way, PDFs and documents and whatever. And if we now enlarge the file to see it clearly, we can either share it, forward it, download it, but we can also send it to ownCloud. Here are the ownCloud folders. Let's create a new folder. Images Tuesday. And send it to this folder. Now it is stored in ownCloud. Same works other way around. If we go to the files and if we have a look at the folders, you will see here all your ownCloud features. So all the folders, you have your favorites, you have the files and folders that have been shared with you, that have been shared with others, or shared by link. And of course, you can search for text. Yes.
I have to admit, it looks at the first glance, it looks just like the ownCloud UI, but on closer look, you will actually see that it's not the ownCloud UI. We just adhered to the existing design, just to make it easier for users to find it again.
Yes. So it is not the file picker and it is not pure ownCloud, but it is what we did with the ownCloud SDK to integrate into, here as an example, VNCtalk, but it's available in all our products. And of course, you can work with the folders with all the ownCloud functionalities here. You can see the details. We don't have a public link here. You can rename images new. You can rename the folders. You can download the complete folder or files, or you can delete them. And when we have a look at the image, you can also say, that's a new favorite, and we can share it with ownCloud users and groups. We can share it with a public link, or we can send it to VNCtalk. So here, I send the file to this group chat, and it will appear here. and the chat info. Yeah. So that is because of our encryption. I'm here on my development server, and
Yeah.
I have not enabled that. But let me have a look again. Let's go there and go to the images and have another one. Share it, send it to VNCtalk. So, and we send the file. And here you can play the same thing again. You can send it again to ownCloud, or download it, or share it, or forward it in any way you like. Here on the left side, you will see all your files in ownCloud, and in your local file store, you can see all the users that are online and that you might want to invite to your chat. You can see all the images, all the videos, and everything that are in the chat. Let me show you another quick feature is in our channel. The VNC channels is a kind of a secure Slack replacement where you could create video libraries with your video topics and play them directly in your browser or in your app or in your web client. And you can work with texts, you can work with linking to other elements within VNCtalk or VNC channels or other products, and of course you can add links. A very sophisticated way to work with VNC channels are the analysis topics that are based upon a concept of interlinkage, where you have smart links to other topics within VNC channels, where you can highlight, where you can have sticky notes like this one, or references that these are, for example, sources for your texts and related topics and comments and tags and whatever you want to see. And the last thing also in VNCtalk is VNC Social. That is based, a secure Twitter alternative, and where you can share your posts, where you can like and forward and repost and do whatever you are used to, and where you have your profiles and your also analysis, how many profile views and reactions and so on. So this is a very quick overview of one of our products and the tight integration with ownCloud. And imagine, we all are relying upon files and data in all kinds of products and solutions. In chat messages or channels, this is just one option. We do have files in our project management. Here, the integration with ownCloud is also working really nicely. And with VNC Mail, you have mails that you attach or that you want to save in ownCloud when you receive a mail. So your fantasy can be at work and think of use cases that you might have in real time in your company or in your customer's company, and we're happy to work on those with you. So maybe let's use some minutes for questions, or in case you want to see anything in greater detail. Is there anything that is open?
Okay, I see there are questions.
We do have some questions. Exactly. Okay. We have one, I don't know which one you guys would like to answer. It's about the file transfer. And is the file transfer encrypted, or can it be restricted from being forwarded further?
Yes and yes. So the standard file transfer is either encrypted or unencrypted inside the chat, whatever method you currently use. Basically the same as for messages. And yeah, as soon as it's encrypted for the target device. But if if the recipient using his target device is able to open it, then of course he's able to download it and to do whatever he likes. If there is something like secure view in ownCloud, then so if you need a feature like the secure view in ownCloud where you can prevent anything else from so where you, for instance, can prevent download and only add view, and the view will have a watermark. That's a feature that's not yet on our site available.
Exactly, but if you're using ownCloud and you have these features, then you would just go to your ownCloud and share the file from ownCloud.
Exactly.
This is something, by the way, if you're interested in that, we had a tech talk on the secure view feature last month, and it's available for a download as well. And you can obviously have a look at the recording. Feel free to check out our YouTube channel. You'll find it as well. And we have another question. Maybe we can, I don't know if we can switch back to the demo. If you have if you have a Word file prepared, could you show us how it looks like if you share a Word file in the chat while it is hosted in ownCloud? Is that a case that we can show in the demo?
Let me just check whether I have a Word file there in that instance, because it's a demo instance. We have an example document there.
And for all the others, obviously, if you have other questions, feel free to unmute or use the chat.
Yeah, there's lots of questions also about Jitsi, but let me check out the Word file. So one thing with files is, of course, that you can share them within with a link. That's the most the easiest way to do it. But let me prepare something else. Maybe you can, while I'm doing that, you can go on with a different question.
We do have another question. One is, can I find an installation guide for VNCtalk with ownCloud? I think that's a suggestion. How is that possible?
Let me check. So there's no actual installation guide for ownCloud itself or for the installation with ownCloud. All you actually need for ownCloud is to enable OpenID Connect authentication. And of course, then you will need all the VNC applications which are deployed according to our stack.
Yeah, I think the question would be, I mean, are you already using ownCloud, or because then you can just basically add it and connect it. I think it's quite easy. And obviously, I think our friends from VNC or ownCloud will be glad to help. Another question is, Nextcloud is using Jitsi solution for video conference. Yes, I think they do. May I get imagine what VNCtalk with ownCloud have benefit compared with Nextcloud, compared to Nextcloud in terms of the video? I think it's the question refers to the video.
Okay, so the video that we are using is actually a Jitsi integration, but also again, it's using your own Jitsi integration. It's a low-level integration, not just embedding. So as far as I'm aware, just to make that clear, there are two options for video calls with Nextcloud, and one of them is to embed Jitsi, which is basically just using an iframe embedding. And the other one is not using Jitsi at all. That's something else. Not exactly sure what it is, but it's not Jitsi. Yeah, so we're using Jitsi there as well in the backend, but we're not using the actual Jitsi frontend. And the benefits
at our architecture chart for VNCtalk, if you want to see what we're using, which components we are using. I will post the link in the chat. So, do we have any other questions?
No other questions, unless you have received some private mail. We have another one. And there's one coming in. Okay, so this question was asked before by another person. Can VNCtalk communicate with Microsoft Teams, or can it have low-level integration? For example, Skype and Teams, they're two separate products, but they can communicate with each other.
Yeah, usually our customers are keen on having their secure communication within or to contain the communication within VNCtalk. So usually this question is not asked. We had a discussion yesterday about a potential scenario. So potentially there could be, for example, a chat or a forwarding of chat messages to Teams, but the details I will leave to Stefan, but this is not something that we would promote on doing so.
Right, so exactly, the actual idea usually is that you're trying not to use Teams, because Teams again depends on Microsoft to exist. You're not running your whole Teams stack locally. So that's pretty much just getting the circle back to why do you want to host your own data? Why do you want to be in charge yourself? So it's not there's no integration yet. We're planning to look into it, and probably there might be something, but nothing that I can promise. It's not like a it's not like a fixed milestone.
If you're using ownCloud, and we have opted for a Teams integration, there is a Microsoft Teams integration if you're using ownCloud. So you can go to your ownCloud and share files, but not really files. You actually share a link. So what we don't want you to do, and what we don't want your users to do, is to send the whole file via Microsoft Teams due to security concerns, because even if you have the file masked to some extent, there will still be metadata going through the Azure environment. This is something that you typically, if you use our solutions, that you're not willing to accept. So what you can do is that you can mirror your cloud to Microsoft Teams. You can take a file and you can share the link, get that into Microsoft Teams, all within Microsoft Teams. So there is no application breach or whatsoever. You can do that fully digital sovereign if you're using ownCloud. However, this is not yet a feature that is integrated into the VNCtalk environment from ownCloud.
Exactly.
And we have another question under settings in the VNCtalk chat. I saw an option for two-factor authentication. What is that for, and how is it leveraged?
Yeah, that's basically if you're you can opt or let me start a different way. Okay, so it's a two-factor authentication. It's using TOTP. You can use hardware dongles if you want to. The default implementation is just using TOTP apps like Google Authenticate and others. That's a well-known standard. If basically the whole flow is you have to enable it. You can enable it either from any of our applications where you are able to log in. Then the whole device registration flow starts, and from then on you have to use two-factor authentication when you log in. So nothing special there, just a standard flow.
And we do have another question. Again, do you have a chart comparing ownCloud and VNC product suite with Office 365 and Microsoft Teams?
Yes, we do have
provide that.
files, and we share them with selected persons. So if you get back to us with your email address, we can share that with you. Yes. And the comparison looks good. We are being realistic there, but there are definite advantages. Yes.
So if you wish, so we can provide it quite easily. If the email that you registered with is correct, and if you're okay, then we will forward it, and we can provide the battle card. Any other questions coming in? As I said, we don't have a hard cut. We take the time. If you have questions, please feel free. But I do not see any. What about the Word file, Andrea? Did we find one in the demo?
I don't have this activated on this test
Okay.
server, so I cannot show it right now, but no problem showing it at a later time.
So please feel free to reach out once again after the call. I think we can, if you want to look more into detail, then we'll be glad to have a a guided demo a little bit where you can send us in advance the points that you really want to look at in detail, and maybe we can have some more time for you in a follow-up meeting. Okay, so I'm not seeing any more questions coming in. Then once again, let me thank you, guys, Andrea, Stefan. Thanks for being with us today
welcome.
for our tech talk in April 22, VNCtalk. I think it was a great demo, really cool tool. As you know, we also use it to communicate and exchange in terms of marketing that we do together. So I've seen it before, but each time I see it, I really like it. In any case, thanks for being with us today. Thank you for all of you guys for joining. Wherever you might be, take care, stay safe, and please check out our website. There's more tech talks coming. There's expert talks coming as well. And if you check out our blog, that's always a good option as well. And feel free to check VNClagoon as well. Cool suite and a lot of videos and demos as well. If you haven't, once again, there is a white paper on VNCtalk that you can download directly from GoToMeeting. We'll provide it after the call as well if you wish. Thanks you once again, and take care. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, goodbye.